why are you going to all these classes? At first I thought he was kind of jealous, you know, he don't want me to Polaroid thing. It wasn't that. He was just trying to pick my head, my mind. So I said, well, I'm trying to find the ultimate. And then he put his finger on my chest like this, and man, ain't no ultimate. The ultimate's right here, right here. He said, seek your own truth, man. He said, don't go spend all that money with all those guys. They all want to whip you into shape and be a clone of them, of the instructor. And so that's why I'm rebellious and angry when I see people that are trying to imitate Bruce Lee and try to make money off of it. What you do is you let Bruce be an inspiration, and then you find what is inside of you that inspiration can help you develop.
Right.
And that's what happened to me. So anyway, that was the epiphany of my life, turning point. And so that's when I said, well, those three people.
In that meeting. So how did they receive?
Oh, well, there were 400 people there, and there was applause. When I came down, Linda hugged me and said, I never thought you could speak like that. And then Tak Kimura, who was one of Bruce Lee's first students, said, well, the man's a preacher, you know.
You should be able to talk.
Yeah, but all these years she didn't know.
She didn't know that aspect of you.
No. She just knew I hung around with Bruce. I'd come, she'd be standing in the kitchen just listening, and Bruce would talk. Sometimes we talk in the middle of the 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially 1968, she called and asked me to come down. They're going to have a surprise birthday party for Bruce. So there were about 8 of us there, and we stayed at his house. All he did was talk about martial arts from sundown to the next morning.
Interesting. So you influenced him, he influenced you?
But anyway, how I influenced him was, see, he was in the Wing Chun.
Right.
So when he came, he got into a fight with a guy named Fong, Northern Kung Fu stylist. And so what happened was, it wasn't Fong fault, it was one of the Kung Fu guys was egging both of them on. He'd go and tell Bruce that Fong said this about you. Then he'd go tell Fong Bruce said this about you. And so finally both of them got angry and said, well, let's meet and fight it out. So finally Fong came over with 10 other students here to Bruce's studio. So Bruce had a little, Jimmy had a little place over on Broadway in Oakland, California. And so they had the meeting. And so Bruce said, let's get with it. And the guy said, well, let's talk about rules. He said, hell with rules. Let's get with it. So bang, Bruce charged at him when he tried to fall with blast. The guy turned around and ran. And then, you see, that dojo had a partition, a door here and a door there. The guy ran around the door like a cat chasing a mouse.
Right.
And so he was just keep trying to hit him straight. And the guy moving around and running and swinging his arms and finally scratched Bruce on the neck. Bruce cornered him, put his hand on his throat and getting ready to punch him out, and he yelled, screamed in Chinese. He couldn't speak English, just yelled in Chinese. I give up, I give up. So Bruce said, well, tell your students that you give it up. You don't want to fight me, and don't ever come back here and mess around. And so I couldn't make it to the fight because I lived in Stockton, California, which was about an hour and a half from Oakland. And so after it was over, Jimmy calls me up on the telephone.
Jimmy is James Lee.
James Lee.
Right.
James Lee called me up and said, hey Leo, well, it's over. I said, what happened? He said, well, the dude kept running, so there wasn't much of a fight. Bruce kind of cornered him and made him give up. So then Bruce gets on the phone and he said, hey, that sucker ran from me. He said, I got to have more angles. And I said, Bruce, you got to go boxing, man. You got to go hooks, uppercut, crosses, you know, and you got to do the whole thing. See, when people are bobbing and weaving and running like that, I said, you got to hit them with hooks and stuff. And so when I went back to the class that weekend, he was already moving around throwing hooks and getting up because on a glove hanging from a chain.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's how you influenced him.
Yeah, that's how I influenced him. So from time to time, he would see me shadow box a little bit, and then he would correct me here and there, and then he would not say anything. Next thing I knew, he was doing something like that I was doing.
Right.
The only thing he would improvise, he would he was shooting bang. He still had the Wing Chun influence with vertical fist.
Vertical fist.
But then when he hooked, he would do this, you see.
Right, right.
See? And so, because I hook like that, you see.
Right.
And so there was stuff like that. And we became not student-instructor relationship, more just kind of buddies, you know, colleagues. Exchanging information. Because I always go to the class, I end up just sitting in the living room chatting with him, and maybe once I stand up from the couch and do something, and he would demonstrate what he did on that particular technique, how he would make it work.
Right. Okay, well, tell me about the pronunciation of your style. How do you say Wei
Kun Do.
Wei Kun Do.
Wei Kun Do. Wei means assimilated or integrated. And Wei is a stomach. And Kun is fist. And Do is the way of Tao, Wei.
Okay.
So Wei Kun Do is way of the integrated fist.
Okay.
So when you eat food, it assimilates in the stomach.
Okay.
So Wei is a metaphor for integration. And so Kun is a fist. It's a symbolic, you know, and then Do is the way. So how that came about was I was in Hong Kong, and Chaplin Chang, who is a production manager of Enter the Dragon, came over to my hotel, and because I had met him in San Francisco.
What year is it they came to?
That was 1974.
Okay.
So anyway, Chaplin said, "Oh, you come in Hong Kong, so let's hook up. I want to get you an interview with a Chinese martial arts magazine." Because I wanted him to help me see if it open some doors for my movie career. See? But it was hard enough to crack.
And Chaplin Chang, if I'm not mistaken, he's a Christian of some sort?
I don't think he's a Christian, but he was very active in the movie industry over there.
Okay.
He was production manager for Raymond Chow on Enter the Dragon and a couple other movies.
He was a cameraman.
No, he was just a production manager, location hunting and all that stuff.
Okay.
And so anyway, I met him in San Francisco. He was doing a movie with Chuck Norris was in it called Slaughter in San Francisco.
In Hong Kong it was being made?
No, he shot it in San Francisco.
Okay.
So Chuck Norris played the bad guy. And so they had this young guy, I forgot what his last name was. His last name was Wong, I forgot his first name. He kind of disappeared from the scene, but he was starring in it. He was young and they were looking for another Bruce Lee. So he started in Slaughter, continued Slaughter in San Francisco.
Right.
It was, I think Yellow-Faced Tiger was the original name of it. But anyway, I met Chaplin Chang because my buddy and business associate, Ron Marchini, he was national champion. So Ron said, "Oh, I'm shooting a movie over there." So I went over and watched him and Raymond, and then I met Chaplin Chang. So when I got to Hong Kong, I looked him up. So he said, "I'll take you around, you know, to different places." So he took me over to Shamrock Hotel to eat dim sum. And there I met all those Chinese stars. I met Carter Wong, Zhang Qian, and all those earlier stars before the days of Jackie Chan, see, after Bruce Lee died. And everybody's rushing to get another Bruce Lee. They were shooting movies left and right based on Bruce Lee imitation. Yeah, they had Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, everybody.
Bruce this, Bruce that.
Yeah. And so anyway, Chaplin took me to the hotel and Martial Arts Magazine, which is Hong Kong martial art publication, put me on the cover and asked me what style. And on the way there, Chaplin said, "What style do you teach?" I said, "Well, Chaplin, I used to be a boxer. I took Taekwondo. I took Judo. I took Jiu-Jitsu. I took Chole Kung Fu. I took Wing Chun and Bruce. I took Siu Lam Kung Fu and T.Y. Wong and a bunch of other stuff."